So shall we say action? Do you want to say action?
Okay. Action.
Hiding my to the Kaiako Podcast. By leaders for leaders being party. Here's what we have for you.
Welcome to another episode of the Kaiako Podcast. I'm Simon O'Reilly, your host once again, and on this episode we are going around various locations in Christchurch, even the wider area, to answer some of your questions that have come into the podcast inbox. So on this episode, like I said before, we're just going to have some questions and answers from the podcast inbox. First question, as we look across to the Moana Chief getting loaded up with some containers to go some exotic place in the world, I'm assuming, is what's going to be on the podcast for the rest of the year? Great question for the person who asked that. We're going to have a chat on diversity and inclusion, and hopefully that'll be out in the next month or so. And later on we're going to have some wellbeing tips on how to look after yourself outside of division, or just outside of the youth program in general. So keep an eye out for that. So it started to rain outside, so here we are in the...
It was snowing earlier.
It was. That's just no good. Now, Sam's here with me now. Now that we're inside and indoors, it's a bit more safer for him, not outside in the light. That would be detrimental to his health.
Sure.
We've got some more questions to work through from the inbox. Have you got any questions for us, Sam?
No. Because I don't have the inbox side.
Remember that person called Jade who asks us lots of questions?
Oh yes. Is she back in the old inbox? Is she?
Got one from her.
Oh yeah.
It's if I want some information about the online division, where should I look? Well, Jade, you'll be glad to hear that we did a podcast episode on that, and we can link it here. There'll be a link going along here somewhere shortly. Yeah, somewhere. Very good.
We could do it in the top corner up here somewhere too.
Yeah, we could up here. No, over here.
It'll be somewhere in the video.
Yeah. So Wilson.
Yeah.
That mug competition you sprung on us last time.
Yes.
How's that coming along?
Well, the competition's now closed, and we were overwhelmed with replies.
Yes.
So we had a bit of a difficult time picking a winner. But the winner will be receiving a Kaiako Podcast mug, which today is filled with tea. And I believe you've got the winner's name sitting there, have you, O'Reilly?
Yes, it's just on my iPad here. It's Kat Smith.
So Kat's the one that famously sings our new introduction.
Yes.
So we'll be getting a mug heading her way shortly.
Congratulations.
But thank you to everyone that wrote in. Some good suggestions and stuff. So we'll work away at that.
Yes. Now we have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get any more episodes in the Princess Mary Lecture Theatre?
Well,
and if so, can we have a wee tour? Well, I've got the sign up again. I've even pointed in the right direction. We're back in the Princess Mary Lecture Theatre, and what a beautiful show she puts on for us. I've got some books, couple of mugs. Kaiako the Key is up the back there, along with some visual representation of different birds. Back in the old inbox here, we've got another question.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it might be an answer, but it's definitely a question.
Questions.
Yeah. How do we order uniform now? I have cadets outgrowing their current uniform.
Well, we did do a podcast episode on this some time ago back in the first season, but the process has changed since then, hasn't it, Simon?
Absolutely. So we have a website now that you go onto, and we can link that or show it to you.
There'll be another link somewhere.
It was also in the most recent youth leader update that came out from the national headquarters, I guess you'd call them. So it's also linked there. But check out the youth uniform ordering website, where it's just like going online shopping, only more fun and it's free. It appears Jade is back in the inbox.
Oh, yeah. Only for the third time this week.
Do you have a new logo? Question mark.
Personally, us as the podcast or St. John?
Well, St. John now.
St. John?
St. John Hatohone does have a new
Hatohone St. John.
has a new logo. Yes, they do. But we also have a new logo. So let's hear about that from Dom Annersy. Right, you joined Dom and I in the car, my car to be exact, as we drive around central Christchurch. We're just going past the town hall at the moment, and that's a beautiful building. I'm glad they got that back to its former glory. Unfortunately, I haven't been in it yet, but I'd love to one day. I have to find a concert of some sort to go to.
Yeah.
Dom, the
Yes.
reason I've got you in the car is because we've got a new logo,
Yes,
and you designed it.
that's correct. Yep.
So I thought maybe you could say how you did that.
Yeah. Well, I started with the cartoon.
Mm.
It was kind of the key element and the key idea of it all, really. And you're actually a very hard person to make a cartoon, but I think it looks similar enough to you
I think it
that
does.
people will see it and go, "That's Simon, right?"
Would you like to say what part of me is the hard part to do?
The curly hair.
Yeah.
Curly hair is very hard to do as a cartoon. And in fact, if you Google curly hair cartoons, you just usually get mostly afros and things.
Okay. Which I don't have.
No.
But if you'd like to see me with an afro,
Yeah, I did try one.
mm,
Well, I tried some different things with the curly hair.
I think I've got some pictures of me wearing an afro somewhere at some stage in my life.
And then we had the cartoon, and it was just about putting it together as a logo. So the spilt milk design, that's a part of our internal branding guidelines.
I thought spilt milk was just how this podcast runs,
No,
not a reference to that.
no.
Oh, okay.
The spilt milk is the circular design that looks like spilt milk. And it's nothing to cry over either.
No, it's not. Just like this podcast.
And then actually use the stock standard green colours, like in the original logo, to tie it into there.
Bit of history in the logo.
Bit of history, yeah. Oh, a history to the original logo, but also I guess the podcast has originated in the South Island. I wonder if you can hear that person's music. They're playing very loud.
This is quite loud.
Some good background music for the podcast.
We're getting probably more the bass of it.
Yes. And then just tying it all together with a bit of text in leafy extended font was what we went for. We did a bit of trial and error really with the text, the typeface, and same as we slogan,
Motto. Who really cares?
a logo, motto, slogan. 4 letters by letters.
So we're just taking the time to say thanks to Dom for doing that, and we got him a cup
Yes.
and a pen with the logo on it
I think maybe,
as we go across the tram lines.
yeah. I think maybe you should include a picture of the pen because you look much more tan in the pen.
Yeah, the pen's a representation of how I don't look in the summer.
It's Oompa Loompa, Simon.
Well, Simon, I've just opened up the inbox and I see there's another question here from, yet again, Jade.
Yes.
And she's wanting to know, do we have anyone that we could speak to regarding some diversity and inclusion training?
Yes, we do have someone who can talk to us about diversity and inclusion. We'll find that on our Facebook page, but here to define diversity and inclusion, it's Jessa.
Diversity and inclusion. I mean, I guess the definition can be different for a lot of different people or for different organisations and things, but genuinely diversity and inclusion is about how we can encompass all types of diversity. So whether that is the gender, age, even like values and work styles, training, access, neurodiversity, so how we can encompass all types, and there's many more types of diversity into an inclusive work environment. So that inclusion part is that everyone, no matter their background, their race, their religion, their diversity, feels comfortable to be able to express any concerns or ideas, or most importantly, to be themselves in a workplace or work environments, and to be able to have that confidence to be them and who they are at work, but also to be able to leave work and take that confidence with them. So it's about providing that inclusion to be able to let them be the diversity they are, and we all are diverse. So it's important to celebrate that.
Awesome. And on our next episode of the Kaiako Podcast, Jess is going to talk for an entire episode, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, though, if you want to hear more about diversity and inclusion, I think I just said the same thing twice in a sentence, but that's all right. Check out Ola from Diversity Works on our Facebook page, who spoke in the St. John Diversity Series. Is that what it was? Yeah. LDT is an amazing course. How do I support my cadets going? Well, thanks to Hadassah and Fee, we have a two-part episode on LDT Mentoring, so check those out, and I think you'll find yourself being quite happy and satisfied with what you learn. Lots of words there, Sam.
Happy and satisfied.
Any chance you can explain the new gold drill assessment form? I think we'll head back over to Dom for that one.
Back in the car here with Dom. We are still driving around central Christchurch.
Just right where regionals is going to be.
Absolutely where regionals is going to be. Very excited about that coming up. Driving past some of the test locations too.
Yes.
Which is a hint for any cadets watching who are coming to regionals itself.
I don't really think it's a hint, really, is it? It's more, it's in Christchurch.
It's common knowledge at this stage.
It's in Christchurch, yeah.
Anyway, we are going to discuss the new drill assessment forms for the gold level badge group, Dom, aren't we?
Yes, that's right.
And there's 3 of them, isn't there?
Yeah, well, there's one document and then there's 2 supporting documents. So it's an assessment guide package.
Yep.
It's based at our gold level cadets. However, because of the way our assessments work with green and blue, you can very easily use it for them as well. But it is very targeted to our gold level cadets, and it's not a workbook, but it is a much better visual representation of what they're needing to do and tick off.
Yeah. Sorry, if you're watching the podcast, you would have just seen a terrible facial expression I nearly made as I ran someone over just about. But back to you, Dom.
Yes. And the purpose of the guides is that the drill assessment or process is quite difficult to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
Which it really shouldn't be, because it's quite easy, and it's just a matter of ticking things off.
Which you've made very obvious in the new document with all the tick boxes available.
Yeah, and it's quite clear who can tick what off. So the assessor, just like any other badge, assesses the final assessment, so assesses their practical drill. But another thing that we've seen lacking is they're not assessing the knowledge or other things throughout the term. So it's about the leaders that are gathering that evidence as well for the assessment stage, like they should be doing for every other badge.
Yeah.
Nothing's new there, it's just a new layout and it sets the cadets up for success, because it means that they know exactly what they want to do. And I find it so hard, particularly as a drill assessor, when leaders come to me and they go, can you sign off this drill badge? And they've been working away at it for 9 months, but actually they still haven't done half the badge.
Yeah.
So it's just a really transparent way of the assessment process, I guess, so that they should know whether they're going to pass or fail or not, because they've done reflective practice on the physical drill. They know it's like getting a test paper before you test. You know exactly what you're going to be tested on.
Yeah.
And it means that we can utilise our assessors' times better as well. because there's quite a few instances where assessors turn up and they go, right, let's do colour party, and they're like, we don't know how to do colour party, and the assessor may as well just go home at that stage, unless they're going to teach them how to do colour party, because that's something that they need for their gold drill. And alongside that document there's a assessor's guide, and that's about making sure that the way that we assess the drill badge is consistent across the South Island region. Things, for example, like if you tell somebody to do a left turn and they can't do a left turn, and then you show them how to do a left turn and they do a left turn, that doesn't really count. They've got to be able to do a left-hand turn without you showing them just beforehand. And the leader's guide, which is a bit of a bridge between the two of them, how to get an assessment teed up, what you need to do supporting your cadets. Yeah.
Where can they find all of this?
Well, I can find it on the leaders SharePoint. I think we'll add a link in because I'm not too sure what it is. But it is, sometimes the access there is a little bit hard. So if they're having any trouble, they can flick me an email, or they can email dco.southisland@stjohn.org.nz.
Well, that sounds absolutely jolly. Would you like to add any tips or tricks in for anybody while you're here?
I think when it comes to the assessment guides, print them off when you're doing your term plans for drill. Print it off at the start. There's no point just printing it off when you come to the end of the assessment, because you'll think you're ready for an assessment and there'll be things that you might have missed.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Back to the Princess Mary Lecture Theatre again, I think.
That was a great question and answers session. Hope to see you next time.
Well, we're welcome to having guests on the show, so if you think you've got something, an area of specialty that you'd like to talk about, then please do reach out to us. We're only too happy to hear from people that want to share their knowledge and experience. So if there's something you'd like to talk about, please do reach out and just flick us an email.
Ka kite.
Bye.
Thank you for watching the Kaiako Podcast. We wish you